Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Daybreak. I'm Juliana Brock.
And I'm Cade Montgomery. First off, we hope that everyone here at Point Park University enjoyed their week off for Thanksgiving break. I know we certainly did.
In the spirit of the season, this week's episode will be focusing on the topic of thankfulness. From charitable acts to heartwarming traditions, we'll fill you in on everything you may have missed this past week.
Plus, we have a few reporters here in studio to cover anything we might have missed.
All this and more coming up, so wake up and smell the coffee, Pittsburgh. Daybreak starts right now.
Welcome back, and now let's kick off this week's episode.
We have so many exciting updates from a new local nonprofit to a middle school legend.
Let's not delay. Take it away, Jules.
South Park Middle School is giving an individual the special recognition he deserves. Walt Lekovich, also known to the school as Uncle Walt, has been a custodian at South Park Middle School for a long time and has reached retirement, but he is not finishing his time at the school in a boring way. Student organizations put together a surprise pep rally for Uncle Walt, filled with cheers, chants, and lots of love. Walt told the crowd, quote, "I wish you all nothing but the best, and I thank you so much," end quote. November 22nd is now known to the school as Uncle Walt Day and will continue his legacy forever.
On this Thanksgiving, a Pittsburgh area family continued their tradition of opening their home to first responders for a meal on the holidays. According to WTAE-TV, each year for the holidays, Mary and Jeannie Leggett and their sons, Cam and Jace, host a large Thanksgiving celebration in their home where all first responders can stop in throughout the day for a chance at getting a Thanksgiving meal during a holiday that they do not typically get off. Jeannie herself is a medic, and the family understands firsthand what it feels like to not be with family to celebrate a holiday. Mary told WTAE, quote, "It means a lot to us that we are able to do this so we can give back also," end quote. Over the past 4 years, the celebration has grown, with the family typically seeing around 40 first responders at Thanksgiving. First responders are also invited to the Leggett home on Christmas Eve.
A local nonprofit organization is giving hope to individuals in a special way. Crop and Kettle is a nonprofit culinary program located in New Brighton that gives students a chance to not only learn about cooking, but also about navigating through life. Tim Iman, the founder and executive director of Crop and Kettle, told KDKA, quote, "Providing transformative life training through workforce training and life skills to people that are trying to overcome past barriers to employment," end quote. Iman created Crop and Kettle with the hopes of utilizing the farm-to-fork approach, meaning the students grow what they use in the kitchen. This approach teaches the students the importance of growing or developing something themselves and then using it for further benefit. Iman said, quote, "It's walking headfirst into some often uncomfortable conversations of the things that have been barriers in the past. Ultimately, what's been going on in the head and the heart, so that when you leave the program and life continues to present challenges to you, there are just some different mental and emotional mindsets about how to handle those things going forward," end quote. Crop and Kettle has a 96% success rate in getting students employed by the time they graduate and celebrates each student's success with each accomplishment. This program is a wonderful way of giving students an opportunity to develop useful skills both in and out of the kitchen that can set them up for success no matter where they are in life. I think those stories are really great.
Me too. It's so nice to see people giving back in this time of year and just all the special things. I loved reading about the first responder Thanksgiving and hearing about that. I knew I had to report on it because, you know, first responders do so much for the community, and they don't get time off for the holidays most of the time. So it was nice to see people doing something for them.
Right, and it's interesting to think about because, you know, we always think about what we're doing for Thanksgiving, but what are those first responders doing? They don't get a chance, like you said, and it's so special that somebody is opening up their home to doing that, especially because they have that personal experience. Yeah. I love that they're turning something they experience to something that's creative, you know, like that's sweet. And then I love the custodian story. I think that is so precious, and everybody deserves to be, you know, celebrated like that. And now I want to go make a candy basket for everybody that works around here and give them something, because everybody deserves to feel that way. So, you know, I love that everybody's doing it. It shows how good the world can be. Definitely.
After the break, we have even more stories to share. Santa Claus is coming to town, and a local pizzeria continued a tradition of charitable giving.
Plus, reporter Anthony Durzo is here with the details on the legendary Stradivarius violin.
Daybreak will be right back.
smells so fresh, nice.
Hey.
Good evening and welcome to Newsnight. My name is Craig Ferkowski.
Tonight, we'll cover all your international, national, and local news.
Australia is one of the most biodiverse countries on the planet.
Over 8,000 items are to be auctioned off at Pittsburgh International Airport on October 22nd.
Last Thursday, the House committee investigating the January 6th attack chose to subpoena former President Donald Trump.
All this and more
Coming up on Newsnight.
Welcome back to Daybreak.
Let's take things back over to this season of giving.
Operation Santa is a local event that takes place each year in the Pittsburgh area to provide fun, food, and gifts to families of actively serving military members, Gold Star families, and veterans in need. This event was apparently in jeopardy. WPXI reported that the event organizer was notified that the lease for the old Sears space at the mall at Robinson, where the event was to take place, was revoked by the company that owns it. But days after pulling out, the company reversed its decision to lease the space for the event after all. The mall sent WPXI a statement reading, quote, "We could not be happier that this has reached resolution so that children of military families throughout the region can enjoy this special holiday celebration," end quote. The event is set to take place on December 16th.
The holiday season is approaching, and what better way than to celebrate with Kris Kringle? Santa's house has opened for this holiday season, and you can visit him in the Heinz Hall courtyard. His house is open every day except for Mondays and Tuesdays, from now until December 23rd. The hours can be found on the Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership website. Visitors can visit Santa for free if they donate to the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank. Give to others, and then you can give yourself a memory worth creating. Santa's house is also giving photos taken during your visit to make your memory last forever. Don't miss your chance to make a donation and give yourself an opportunity to get on the nice list.
A local pizza spot is once again giving back for the holiday season. According to Patch, Pizza Parma, which has locations both downtown and in Shadyside, gave away a large pizza to anyone between 10 a.m. and noon on Thanksgiving Day. A post on Pizza Parma's Facebook page said, quote, "As a family-owned and operated business, it's important for us to ensure no one goes without food this holiday season," end quote. Pizza Parma has been carrying on this tradition on both Thanksgiving and Christmas for the past few years and is expected to continue giving away pizzas for this upcoming Christmas.
That's so precious. I wish I got a free pizza.
I know.
I mean, I was very content with my Thanksgiving dinner,
Oh, me
don't
too.
get me wrong, but that's good to know
Yeah,
that they
it's
do that.
great to know that they do something like that. Like they take the time out of their day to give out free pizzas for a couple hours to people who
know.
don't have the same opportunities that we do to go home and have a nice Thanksgiving meal. If you're just in the city, you know, you
Right.
can go and get a free pizza, and that's really nice.
Right, and I mean, the holidays are always so busy. Like when I think about what I'm doing on Thanksgiving, it's not that I don't have a free minute, but I am busy the entire
Oh,
day.
yeah.
And so the fact that people really carve out that time to prep, give away, clean up, that's really special.
It really
and I think
is.
that that's such a sweet thing. And are you going to go see Santa?
I don't know. I might have to. Maybe we'll go together.
I know, maybe we'll go together. We'll make a donation. We'll get a picture.
Yeah.
It's always fun to get a silly little picture
Yeah.
like that. And
Silly pictures, celebrate the holidays, give back.
right, and
Yeah.
it always meant so much to me when I went as a kid and I
Oh,
saw Santa.
definitely.
So it's just so sweet that they have that, and
Yeah.
it's close. So
Oh yeah,
I
I'm
might just
glad
have to
it's
make a trip.
that things like that are still happening because, like you said, that was one of my favorite parts of Christmas time as a child too.
Right. So it'll be really special. We'll definitely have to go together.
Definitely.
Next up, we'll be handing things over to reporter Anthony Durzo to discuss a rare lost instrument that recently made an appearance on the stage of the Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra.
Here he is now, Anthony.
A rare violin made its debut with the Pittsburgh Symphony this past Saturday after being stolen not once, but twice. The violin, called a Stradivarius violin, was made in 1714 and is worth $14 million today. The violin was owned by a Polish musician who rescued Jewish musicians from Nazi Germany. The violin was last stolen from Carnegie Hall in New York City by a 10-year-old boy in the 1930s after bribing the security guard with a cigar. The violin was recovered after the boy confessed on his deathbed years later. The violin was brought to the symphony as part of their Violins of Hope of Greater Pittsburgh concert and was played by violinist Joshua Bell. The concert featured violins played by Jewish musicians during the Holocaust through a collaboration of 65 partners. Mary Person, Vice President of Artistic Planning, the symphony, said in a statement to WTAU, quote, "It's the different viewpoints. There are more similarities than differences that we have amongst each other. It's the music that shows and finds the shared humanity. So it's a powerful story, a powerful message," end quote. A powerful story indeed. I feel like this could be turned into like some Netflix documentary type thing. The ratings would be like humongous. It'd be amazing.
It's a good story how it, got taken and is now back like so many years later, and yeah.
And bribed him for a cigar.
Right, that just goes to show how much the times have changed.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
just,
a cigar meant
you
a
said he
lot.
was 10, right?
He was a 10-year-old boy.
Right.
How did he get his hands on a cigar?
Right.
It was a different time.
I guess so, yeah. And then $14 million for a violin. If I had $14 million, I don't think I'd be spending it on a violin.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, maybe not, unless I was big into it, You got
Yeah.
to get the perspective as somebody that loves orchestra, maybe they
true.
would. But it's really fascfascinating that that's such a part of history, so.
I know, yeah.
And
Over
we never even
300
think about
years.
that, yeah.
300 years.
It's crazy, yeah. Thank you so much for sharing, Anthony. When we're back from break, reporter Jake Bell will be here to deliver this week's Sideline Slice.
Then Jules and I will share a little bit about the things that make us feel thankful before we finish off with this week's ray of sunshine. Don't go anywhere. Daybreak will be right back.
Regular physical activity is one of the most important things you can do for your health. The benefits of physical activity include brain health, weight management, reducing disease, strengthening your bones and muscles, and improving your ability to do everyday activities. So, it's time to get up and be active.
Welcome back to Daybreak, everyone.
Now let's hand things over to reporter Jake Bell for this week's Sideline Slice.
Thanks, guys. Welcome back to Sideline Slice. Starting off with the Penguins, we left off on their domination of the San Jose Sharks, 10-2. They would keep the momentum up, winning all of their next 4 games. However, they would only go to win one of their next 5 games after that. After a nice 3-2 win over the Buffalo Sabres, the Pens have gone 6-4 in this span, along with a 10-10 record so far this season. As the Pens look to be breaking through, they just couldn't keep up their winning ways. Could their win over the Sabres start another winning streak? We'll just have to see. During this 10-game span, Sidney Crosby led the team in goals with 8 and points with 13. Erik Karlsson and Jake Gensel put up 10 points in this span as well, respectively. As we go to the Steelers, the biggest news of the year has been the firing of offensive coordinator Matt Canada. This move was the first mid-season firing of a coach the Steelers have made since 1941, when half owner at the time, Bert Bell, fired himself as head coach. The biggest question heading into the game was how they would respond and if Matt Canada was the main problem. On Sunday's game against the Cincinnati Bengals, there was a mix of good and bad. The Steelers had over 400 yards of total offense in a regular season game for the first time since their second game of the 2020 season in the win over the Denver Broncos. However, despite quarterback Kenny Pickett showing signs of improvement, the offense only scored 16 points in their 16-10 win. However, this is still something to look forward to for the Steelers, who outgained their opponent for the first time all season, putting up over 400 yards to the Bengals' 222. Tight end Pat Freiermuth was the difference maker offensively, catching 9 passes for 120 yards. Defensive back Trenton Thompson made the play of the game, grabbing his first interception of his career, while the Bengals were in field goal range looking to score. Running back coach Eddie Faulkner and quarterback coach Mike Sullivan will split offensive coordinator duties, as the Steelers stand at 7-4 and currently in a playoff spot. Moving to the Pirates, the offseason has not gone off to a great start for them. Starting pitcher Johan Oviedo has to go through Tommy John surgery, which means he will miss the entire 2024 season. Oviedo, who barely made the rotation to start the season, emerged as their second best option last year. He would go on to be second on the Pirates in starting pitching ERA at 4.31 and strikeouts with 158, trailing All-Star Mitch Keller in both categories. General Manager Ben Cherington emphasized the need in starting pitching going into the offseason, and with this loss, it looks like he'll need to be even more aggressive. The only pitchers locked into a rotation spot are Mitch Keller and JT Brubaker, who also missed the entire 2023 season with Tommy John surgery as well. And going back to Johan Oviedo, it's just such a shame that all the work he's been putting in and his season already is ending before the offseason just started, you know?
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, like, especially, it's unfortunate that it happened at all, but especially, you know, right before the season's, like, getting ready to start, like, and he's not going to be able to play, like, at all. Like, that's awful.
Right, and it's awful when people just work so hard and you know that they have the determination and that game in them, and then something like this happens, and it's devastating for everybody, especially the player, I couldn't imagine.
Oh, absolutely. And, like, throughout my whole life, like, as an athlete, I've never had a significant injury ever, so I've been very blessed to be able to say that.
Right.
But I just can't imagine with all the work they put in, like, even though these players have an off-season, it's not really an off-season. They still have to work really hard. You can't just have a 3-month break and then automatically go into a game. It's just, it's not that easy. So it's just a huge blow, especially for the Pirates as well.
Definitely.
Right. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things go from here on out.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, yeah.
Thanks so much, Jake. Now it's time for us to express some thankfulness.
Holiday or not, it's important that sometimes you take a moment to let the people you care about know that you appreciate them.
That's why Jules and I have took some time to prepare a few words about the reasons why we're thankful for each other.
All right.
All right, and I'll let you go first since you prepared a little paper. I didn't know we were writing it down on paper. I just thought some stuff up to say. But Jules,
I got the memo.
Jules is very prepared.
I got the memo. I wrote it on a paper or a piece of paper. But here we go. Okay. So it says, I am thankful for how Cade makes me laugh. When I am expressing something I feel alone about, Cade is always there to validate it and makes me feel seen. We share so many memories, photos, stories, and our love of Taylor, of course. Cade has seen me in some of my lowest and roughest moments, and he's been by my side. He's helped me, and he's never stopped loving me. And Cade inspires me to do better and be better because I know that he's going to go far and be successful, so he inspires me. And that was what I wrote.
Aw, thank you, Jules. That's nice. Oh, I gotta follow that. Jules, I'm thankful for you because I feel like we're always on the same page. Like, you're always there. I feel the way about something, you feel that way. Like, we always click just so good. So I'm thankful for that. And I'm just thankful to have made you as a friend. Like, you were coming in as a freshman and I was a sophomore changing my major, and it just, like, we clicked. And, you know, from the first time I met you, I didn't think we were going to be friends right away because you seemed too nice. And I thought, you know, she's got to be a mean girl. Like, she's way too nice. But then I got to know her, and she's just like that. She's just nice and smiley, and it's not backhanded. Like,
Oh,
she's just a
I
good
remember
person.
that conversation.
And
That was
so,
so
yeah,
funny.
I'm just so thankful to have you in my life. I feel like I can always go to you and talk to you, and I think you're going to go far too. Yeah, I was there for you when you recently did an interview, and it was amazing, and I wanted to be there for that, and I hope you can be there for my stuff, and I can be there for your stuff, and we can watch each other grow and become successful.
Aw, thanks, Kate. The best. So sweet. And now we might not have mentioned it, but it's also important to note how thankful we are for you, our Daybreak audience. Now it's time for this week's Ray of Sunshine.
As you probably know, Ray of Sunshine is Daybreak's way of leaving every episode off on a positive note. This week, we'll be briefly steering away our attention from thankfulness and focusing on something much more mischievous.
Have you ever seen a Thanksgiving feast without a single human in attendance? Watch as 13 dogs and 1 cat share a special holiday meal. That was really precious. I love how creative that was.
Me too, yeah.
That put a lot of thought and effort. Like, that requires a lot.
That had to take a long time to make.
Right, and it was just, and the dogs were so well behaved, the cat too.
Yeah.
Like, that was such good behavior on their, well, I bet they loved it. There was treats right there.
True,
So,
yeah.
you know, I would do it too if I were them, but that's so
was
sweet.
adorable. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, me too. Very sweet. And that's all we have for this episode of Daybreak. We hope that our stories brought a little bit of warmth to this otherwise cold winter season.
As usual, don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at DaybreakPPU. Until next time, I'm Cade Montgomery.
And I'm Juliana Brock, hoping your news is great news. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.